Welcome back to session 2 of Sewer City Sorrow. In this session, our brave companions are going to engage in their second week on the job. And to get us started, Olo, our very powerful wizard, is going to explain what happened last session and how he may or may not have accidentally cast sleep.
Yes, in our last session, Rom, Olo, and Longstride had just joined the city guard and were on their first mission. They had an opportunity to meet several of the other guardsmen. Most notable were Corporal Laggard, Sergeant Evernight, Private Brightheart, and those are the most notable ones. I believe Corporal Lugard took us out for our first rounds, and it wasn't long that we came across the young half-elf lass who was crying, missing her mother, and us being good guards, we quickly set to helping this young girl find by the name of Anna find her mother. We were able to break up a fight between a couple of drunken individuals, a man and now correct me guys, half-elf woman, I believe, fighting outside of this
A
tavern.
half-elf male and a female
Yes.
woman.
And we were able to break this fight up using some guile. Olo just tried to get them to break up, but and I believe Longstride tried to batter one of them with the back of his axe and missed terribly, falling upon his posterior. But Rom was quickly able to throw a net across them, and we were able to subdue them, take them into custody, let them cool their heels. Yes, Rom, that was awesome. We then went into the tavern, which the name does escape me. I should say right now, the Seedy Sailor. And we went in there. We saw a couple of other guards there. One of them seems to be a drunken lout by the name of Hardy. And we were able to find out where this girl's mother did in fact visit there. She did not actually work there, like Anna had said, but she did show up there, drink, and make many male friends, which she would bring back to her place where she lived. We went back outside. We then proceeded to bring Anna back to her. I'm going to do this home, where we were then set upon by some bandits that appeared to be under the influence or some sort of suffering from some sort of addiction. Rom bravely threw himself in front of an arrow that would have probably killed Anna if not for his noble act, and but unfortunately he went down to that. Longstride set himself into action against two foes that came out to our rear, and Olo, ever vigilant, threw magic at these. Actually, let me step back. Longstride actually cut down one of these foes very quickly and deftly with his large axe. And Olo, stepping in to lend aid, threw sleeping dust and magic out across Longstride and this other foe, who unfortunately was an elf and immune to the magic. Unfortunately for Longstride, he was not. And so that was one of those unforeseen accidents. And but Longstride was kicked awake by Anna, and he rose and dealt with that final villain. And the archer who had shot Rom fled. Defeated, the heroes returned Anna to her home before returning to the barracks, where they were soundly berated by the lieutenant. Was it the lieutenant or the sergeant?
It was by everybody, Sergeant. Corporal,
yeah, basically everybody. We were constantly reminded on how we were new recruits and not very good at our jobs yet. Other than that,
Your inability to bring manacles to work when they were offered to you for free. Your inability to capture your people when you killed them all.
excuse me, I believe we captured the first two, but yes. Anyways, we did learn that we had much to learn if we were going to be successful as guards. And that's kind of where we trailed off. That's where our first adventure
Yes.
ended.
And this is the first week is done of your work week. The rest is relatively humdrum. And the three of you can collect 7 gold for a week's worth of hard work. Olo getting 5 gold off on the side as well from his secret dealings. And we're gonna start this off here.
Halfling's got to do what a halfling's got to do. You know it. You know it.
I don't think I've ever trusted a halfling.
It's okay. Well,
you trust me because I'm a wizard too.
Yes, Tigger. All right. So before we actually get into the session here, throughout the course of the week, it's almost like clockwork. Every time you guys visit a tavern or walk by an inn, there's bards telling tales. It's almost like your local news channel. You hear tales of the strange happenings of the week, and the most interesting one is of a report by Mayor Arter, the guy who's the boss of your boss's boss, if you will. And Mayor Arter reports that Precinct 1 of the Pioneer Parish, of which you all work, has crushed a gang of criminals led by the elven criminal Alton Feldari after mortally wounding one of our town guards in a botched robbery of a small child to pay for their drug addiction. Luckily, one of Corporal Laggard's trainees, Uthal, managed to kill him and one of his associates. But one criminal has fled and a manhunt is underway for the remaining criminal. And with that news you heard throughout the week, you eventually arrive back at work this day. The weather's not nearly as terrible, but it's still gloomy and just the drizzling shifts, both literally and figuratively. And you guys enter your barracks again for the day. And you're greeted by all of your coworkers. Again, they seem to be a bit more punctual than you. Either that or they, I don't know, they hang out here on their free time, which is something you highly doubt. But as you all enter the building and take your seats for the day, your Sergeant Evernight, the older half-elven woman with more years experience than most of you have of life, is standing there, and she kind of gestures for you all to take your seats. You guys have anything you wish to say before briefing starts?
Nope.
No?
I sit down and kick my foot up on one of the benches.
Nope.
Listen.
Olo just has a big smile on his face and he hops up into his seat with his little feet dangling off the edge.
Yeah, and as you do that, Brightheart kind of smiles and looks at you. And as you all take your seats, Evernight shuffles through some papers on her desk. She says, well, the mayor was pleased with your apprehension of the gang members. He's paid an undisclosed amount to Corporal Laggard and has forwarded the remainder of the payments over to Uthal to do with as he sees fit. And she grabs a marked sack of money and pushes it across to Uthal. You don't know what's inside the sack until obviously you take the time to look inside. And she just says, he was very keen about you receiving this reward. You're free to do whatever you want with it, though. But do we have any other passed out from our investigations? She kind of looks to you three, wondering if you guys have figured anything out or have any speculation about what's going on. She figures you guys probably don't know enough yet to make any broad assertions yet, but maybe you guys have something to say or just something to embarrass yourself with. I'd expect as much, rookies. Thank you. Thank you for your glorious insights.
So I didn't
And-
know what to do when the time was going.
I'd rather come to you when I have something substantial, man.
Oh man, I don't know if I can wait that long. I'm getting old. She kind of smiles, and as she says that, you notice your your halfling associate Brightheart and her partner Guile, the shifty-eyed human male, kind of stand up, and they explain, kind of looking over some paperwork and kind of handing it over to the sergeants. Well, we were doing our investigation of the horseshoes that have been going missing, and it's not quite as mundane as it sounds. These horseshoes have been stolen by a professional farrier, and we've narrowed it down to a specific blacksmith shop. I think it's a plot to create business, but we're going to need a bit more information before we get a proper arrest. It's either the blacksmith or his apprentice, perhaps, unless there's a third party involved that we don't know about. And when they say that, your sergeant kind of pauses, kind of thinks over the words. All right, I'll keep that in mind when I do the deployments. And as she says that, Hardy and Kenai, your alcoholic associate and solemn elf, stand up and they say, "Yes, we've been doing our research, and it appears that most of the people that have been going missing in this district have visited the Seedy Sailor. We're not sure what the correlations are, but we're going to pay close attention to this particular part of the town." And Brightheart kind of smiles, and she kind of jabs Guile on the side, and she kind of whispers, "I bet they just want to get drunk again." And as she says that, Hardy completely doesn't react at all, just ignoring the words. And you imagine that maybe he's just trying to play along or whatever. But after she hears all the pass down, she kind of looks to you all. Any other comments? Any other comments? I'm going to be shifting up what we're doing a little bit here. You guys seem to be a hardy group. Perhaps you don't need a professional trainer anymore. You guys don't need Corporal Laggard, right?
He shakes his head.
I thought as much. Well, hopefully he doesn't have to bail you out again. I heard that he was very imperative in your success. He told me about how you forgot your manacles. Do you need manacles?
I have them right here, and he holds them up with each hand, and just like jingles them.
All right. Are those new ones, or have you checked those out?
They're the same ones as before.
Oh, so you haven't? Those aren't even your manacles then. Yeah, and Corporal Laggard kind of eyes you. Yeah, don't you remember you were trying to tie them up with ropes and you used my manacles?
I use prestidigitation to make him smell like a fart. Just
he just looks at you and he's just like, and the sergeant just kind of lets out this deep, defeated sigh, and she says, "Laggard, before you leave, can you check out manacles, preferably 2 pairs for each of them, and at least use one of them on your enemies, okay? Please." And as she says that, she kind of cleans up her paperwork and she says, "All right, your assignments are as follows. Guile and Evernight, please relieve the day watch and finish the stakeout of the local blacksmith. Perhaps you can catch one of them in the act. And Laggard, Hardy, and Kenai, patrol the area around the tavern. Keep it low-key, though. No armor, no uniforms, plain clothes, please. Figure out what's going on, and if you can, try to check out the suppliers of the tavern. Perhaps they're part of the problem here." And then she looks to you 3 last. The 3 of you. I know your first day was a bit hairy, but you all performed admirably. So you 3 trainees. No. I suppose private is a better descriptor. are going to patrol the other part of our district, a little bit farther away from the kidnappings. Not too far away, but try not to get into the business of our associates that are doing a stakeout on the blacksmith. It would be unfortunate if we happened upon them and scared away the suspects. Can you guys do that for me?
Which blacksmith is it?
Oh, well, it's the blacksmith on the far side of town. It's rather far away from here. What's the name of it? I'm sure they can get you the name of it. It's not written down in this report, but they know where to go. But aside from that, just keep an eye out. There shouldn't be too many problems going around. I have heard rumors of a new drug going about, but I don't know what that is. Just keep an eye out. The gangs, whenever there's a new drug out, they get a bit more aggressive. And with that, she kind of cleans up her paperwork and begins to turn around, and she says, "Oh, well, I suppose you're all dismissed. Remember, one whistle is help, and 2 missiles is all clear. And if you do more than 2, you're either about to die or you're crazy. Okay?" And she just walks out of the big open room and into her tiny little cramped office to do what seems like a high stack of paperwork. And as she does so, Corporal Laggard kind of looks to you 3. All right. I'm gonna ask you guys again. Do you need any other equipment aside from the manacles?
Let's see. Manacles, ball bearings, net, grappling hook. Nope, I'm good.
All right.
Just the manacles. Uther's going to reach out and take the bag and just have a quick peek inside, and then tuck it away into his jacket.
Yeah.
Into
I'll send you a private message of what's in it.
Cool.
And as you guys say that, Laggard nods. He's all right. 6 manacles. Please don't let the criminals walk away with these manacles, please. They're very expensive. And he hands each of you a sign-out sheet for 2 sets of manacles. And I imagine you're all gonna sign it.
Yep.
Unless you bought your own manacles.
No, I signed it.
Yeah, I'm going to sign it.
All right. So the 3 of you sign the sign-out sheet, and you now are all the happy borrowers of 2 pairs of manacles each. And he hands you your cloaks, and he says, "All right, guys, get out there and try not to fuck up this time." Kind of gestures for you guys to hop out before he does.
My pa always said some of the best learning comes from making mistakes. Just saying.
Well, if that's true, you 3 must be the smartest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm Wayne says he leaves.
Yeah, so the 3 of you kind of hop out into the streets. It's a little drizzly, but not nearly as bad as your last week on the job. And you kind of think about the layout of the city here, and you guys still are kind of going near the tavern area, maybe a little bit off to the side, but definitely within earshot if something were to go wrong. And as the 3 of you kind of begin your patrol, you still realize it's really dark outside, as always. And all of you can see in the dark, with the exception of your Goliath, who's just... Actually, only Rom can see in the dark. Only Rom has good dark vision. So the streets are awfully dark and imposing. You quickly might realize that you probably want like a hooded hooded lantern to see pretty far in this darkness, with the ever-present mist that's starting to form.
I'll cast light inside of my hood, so it kind of is like a hooded lantern, basically. Just goes.
Yes, so your head is now a headlight, quite literally, which is interesting. quite the nice play on words here. And the three of you start heading out into the streets, and you have like a nice hour of somewhat grim silence. You have a few people asking you questions. Oh, how do I get to the Seedy Sailor? How do I go here? How do I go there? And as you pass the Seedy Sailor for a second time, Olo, you notice a familiar face. You see a tall human man, and as you approach, this guy sticks out to you. Remember his name. He is the innkeeper of your residence, Herbert. He walks up to you guys, and he says, "Is that you, Olo?"
Yep. I'm a guard now. These are my friends. The big guy there. He's Longstride. Yeah.
Wow.
Don't let his size fool you. He's a big marshmallow. The other one here, the elven guy, that's Rom. He's a wizard too, like me.
Oh wow, he must. Is he better than you though?
Probably. You know those elves, they're always better. That's why I've been kind of hanging around them. Pa always told me, if you want to get better at something, you gotta hang out with people that are better at it. So
All right, well, that's good. I know it's not really appropriate to ask you this, but I still feel like I have to. I mean, don't think of me as a landlord. Think of me as like a friend. I think we're friends.
yeah,
We've known each other for a while,
sure.
but
You were very
see-
nice to me when I got here.
yeah, I mean, I know nobody else in the city wanted to give you a room, but they're not racist. They're just wary. Don't worry about that stuff.
It's the hairy feet, I know.
It is. I mean, just think about where you've been walking, and he looks to kind of points at the streets, and you remember from your first night on the job, these streets are just covered in just feces
Olo kinda-
and just horrible
Olo kind of
shit.
looks down at his toes and kind of wiggles them, and they're like all like dirty.
Yes,
They're not
dirty
so-
is the
not so
word.
bad.
Yes. Just please remember to clean them when you come back in tonight. But I digress. I ask you this because the other night I was arrested by your compatriots. They said that I was harboring a criminal. One of the local gang members, he rented a room in my establishment, and after an investigation, they determined that it was a coincidence. I had no idea who this person was, but they took evidence from me, and I had a family heirloom, this beautiful engraved sword. It's a family heirloom that's been in the family for a while. When they returned my belongings, they didn't give me back the sword, and I went there and I appealed to the man there who was in charge, and he couldn't do anything to help me. I believe the people that did the arrest were it was this cute little halfling. She reminded me of you, and her partner, a taller fellow, maybe perhaps a little bit. He's a human. I didn't see his name. It was like
Well, the
Guy.
halfling has to be Brightheart. There's only the two of us.
yes. Well, the other one was a human male, guy something. But they took my belongings and they didn't bring it back. I'm not asking you to put your neck out for me, but I feel like maybe he stole it. I don't know. Could you maybe look into that later? I know it's a lot to ask.
Can I roll insight on this guy?
Sure, you can roll insight.
Yeah.
Olo kind of will tuck his thumbs into like his belt, and he kind of just underneath his belly, and he'll be like, "I don't know, Hubert. I'm kind of still a new guard, and if I were to get caught by the sergeant,
Oh, well, I'm not asking you to do anything illegal.
I got a 16.
Yeah, he seems like he's telling the truth.
Okay.
You've known him for a while, although he doesn't seem like the liar type. Although he is asking you to stick your neck out a bit. You don't remember seeing him carry the weapon in briefing. I mean, that would be pretty brash for him to do so. But regardless, that's what he said. You're free to ask this guy later, investigate it later, whatever you wish. But he kind of looks at you and he says, I mean, I could make it worth your while, although if you could make it, it means more to me than it's worth. It's something that's been in the family for a long time. Belonged to my great grandfather. He was a knight,
Well, I guess if you could just describe it to us.
There's no way you could miss it. Just imagine the one sword in this city right here that doesn't look like it's made out of shit. It's basically a short sword, but has a very elaborately enameled hilt, and it's just such a beautiful blade. I would hate to see it at a pawn shop or something like that. But you don't have to. I mean, I'm not asking you guys to avoid doing your job, but maybe on a day off you could investigate it.
Okay.
And I know that you like gold as much as the next person.
I do have to save money, and so Olo is kind of like shifting from foot to foot, and shooting kind of looks over to Longstride and Rom, kind of trying to read their temperament,
And he looks to Uthal and he says, "Well, aren't you a big and brave, honorable Goliath? Maybe, can't you help me in my plight?"
If the sword was not given back to you, then it must be of some importance, at least for now. I would suggest waiting. We'll inquire for you, but nothing more.
All right. And he kind of looks at Olo, kind of a little bit defeated and dejected, and says, "All right, well, it was at least worth asking. I'll see you tonight, Olo. I guess it would be the morning when you get off, but perhaps later then." And as he's about to leave, he kind of pauses and he looks back and he says, "How about a little tip to get you guys started then?" It's completely unrelated. Up the street, I've seen strange people go into one of the abandoned warehouses up there. I don't know what they're doing in there, but I think it's some sort of storage area, and I've seen criminals go in there. Well, I imagine they're criminals. Anyone walking the street at this time of night is probably a criminal. Just keep an eye out. Maybe you'll see someone doing something, and he'll just kind of trail off his voice, and you'll just see this human kind of walk back into the tavern, and with that, the three of you would be all alone in the streets again. The only thing that accompany you is the pitter patter of raindrops and your thoughts.
So Olo feels really torn. Herbert was really nice to him when he got there, but he takes his job pretty seriously. So in the back of his mind, he's thinking, I'm going to keep an eye out for that short sword, but I'm not going to do anything that's going to put me or my friends at risk.
Okay. You got any other thoughts, or we're going to just keep going here? Is there anything in particular you guys are looking for while you're on the streets here? Anything that's trying to catch your attention? Anything you're trying to keep an eye out for?
I'm looking for that little shit who stole my money.
Yeah, surprisingly, it's almost as if this person knows that you're around and maybe they don't want to come back. I don't know. Yeah, they're trying to find new marks, perhaps. If only you had some sort of contact who could figure that out.
Don't worry, Rom. We'll find
I'd be
that
looking
girl.
for thieves' cant.
Looking for thieves' cant.
Yep.
Well, sadly,
I know thieves' cant.
yes. You're not sure if the little girl knows thieves' cant, but she might. Maybe she's really proficient at sign language. But as you guys kind of continue on in your streets, you guys pass by these abandoned-looking warehouses that you had maybe passed once before on your route around. And with him mentioning this, you do notice that the second out of these three warehouses back here does looks a little bit different, and you can tell that one of the windows far off down the alleyway is actually missing. But I mean, surely it's just nothing, right? But you have that little tickling in the back of your mind. Maybe what he says is true.
Okay. Rom's going to start casting a ritual in one of the dark alleys. He'd like turn over a garbage can and like throw some reagents in, and then like light them, and like a pretty big rat just like comes crawling out and like crawls up his legs on his shoulder. And he'd whisper into his ear, and the rat would just like scurry into the warehouse.
Okay, that's an interesting strategy. Remind me how this familiar works.
I can take an action to look through its eyes. Hold on. But when I do that, I'm blind.
Okay, so I take it you're going to want your rat to kind of sneak in there and try to
Take a look around.
Take a look around. Okay, roll me a stealth check for your rat real quick.
Okay. Let me just check what his stats are real quick.
So yeah, you guys just see this weird rat just kind of poof into existence, climb in through this open window. And
it's +4.
Okay. Go for it. You have to roll the stat so I can see what it is. Alright, a 10. So your rat kind of scurries off into this building, and it's rather dark out inside, but I think rats can see pretty well in the dark. And the rat gets somewhat farther in, and you kind of notice that it stops, almost kind of like out of fear or hesitation. And you can't quite see what's going on through its eyes, but it's quite clear that your rat is hearing something. And whatever it is inside of this warehouse has this rat kind of paralyzed, either with fear or just anticipation.
Something in there. He whispers.
Would you want your rat to go further ahead, or what do you guys want to do?
Let me double check what it's. Yeah. Guess it doesn't have very good stealth. Alright. It's a 0 on stealth, apparently. Yeah, he'd be sending the rat in basically to just go as far as it can.
Okay, yeah, your rat kind of scurries down a little bit farther, and you see it finally reaches a crate, an area full of crates, and one of these crates you notice is labeled horseshoes, and it has the insignia of the blacksmith shop that they'd spoken of, kind of labeled on it. And as this rat notices this, you also notice there's an individual there with a crowbar, and they're very, very delicately trying to open this crate. It's a hooded individual, and roll a stealth check for your rat again.
All right. Oh, crit.
All right, super shady, stealthy rat. So yeah, they don't even notice this rat scurrying about in the darkness. But for whatever reason, you kind of see them. They eventually very delicately pry open this crate, You can kind of see the nails kind of popping out a little bit, but they're doing it in such a manner that nobody would detect it. And you're not quite sure what they're up to, but the longer I describe this stuff, the more this guy's going to do. So interrupt me if you guys want to do something. But this guy...
Yeah, just have the rat just watch this guy and see what he's doing, because he seems shady.
Okay, yeah. So you see this guy, he eventually manages to open up this crate, and you see that he's very, very careful not to break anything. And he very delicately lifts up this heavy lid and kind of pushes it across the side. And you're not sure what's inside this crate, but I mean, you have to imagine it's horseshoes, as his hand kind of dips down into the crate, and you kind of see him pull up this bag, and you see items getting pushed into this bag. They look pretty heavy, maybe they're horseshoes, maybe they're something else. But you see this guy is...
Can I have the rat kind of like smell the air and figure out what might be in the bag, whether it's something weird or...
Yeah, have it make a perception check.
Okay. It has advantage on smell. Oh, crit!
The rat is smelling metal. There's no fruit or fireworks or spices. It just smells like metal, and you just kind of hear the clanking of metal on metal as this bag this individual is holding it's not filling up with horseshoes, but you notice it seems like maybe 10 get deposited into this bag. And after this guy does this, you kind of see he smiles a bit proud of himself as he ties up this bag, and he kind of squishes the bag down as tight as he can, and you'll notice that he'll stick it into his bag. And as he does this, he kind of scooches over a little bit, and he reaches into his actual backpack that his bag is in, and you see him pull out what looks like horseshoes, almost what you would expect someone to be putting in there. And for reasons completely unknown to you, this man begins to put horseshoes back into the crate. You can kind of count them: 1, 2, 3, 4. You see these look like maybe they're different horseshoes. You're not sure, but he puts horseshoes back into the crates. And this whole thing doesn't make any sense to you, but that's what you guys see.
I would have been writing down what was happening on a notepad, my eyes rolling back in my head because I'm blind and I'm looking through the rat. And I'd say, you should go talk to this guy.
Okay, so
I'll go around the back, you go around the front, okay?
All right, so you guys gonna sneak up, run in there? What are you doing? What's the plan?
He would try to sneak around the back.
What's the actual laws on going into buildings that are private?
Oh, that's trespassing for sure. Unless this guy has an ID on him, which you don't know, but I mean that would at least, even with your meager training, a strange person in a building like this at night, that would at least be probable cause to at least search him, just at least to check to see if he has an ID. If he doesn't have a proper ID, then obviously you would be pretty confident in your ability to arrest this guy.
Okay.
So I want to hear this plan you guys have to try to deal with this guy. He's not going to be there for much longer. He seems to be almost finished up with what he was doing.
Yeah. How many exits does the rat see?
Well, the rat only notices the front and back, but I mean, there's a bunch of windows everywhere. The rat doesn't know if he can break through them or anything. It's not particularly.
Okay. Yeah. Ron would want to go to the back entrance.
Okay.
And once he's near the back entrance, he would be watching this guy through the rat and waiting for the others to go through the front.
All right. So this is really important here. I need to know the order of what happens here, guys. And depending on what you do, will depend on what happens here. Okay. So who's the first person to enter, and how are they entering?
Well, the first thing that Little Fox would do is once Rom starts talking and mentions the guy inside, he lifts up his right hand and he looks at it and he blows on his fingers a couple of times and nothing happens, and then he kind of gets this look on his face and he goes, and then it kind of sparks green, and as he does it, this little smile comes across his face, and he kind of snaps his fingers and the spark kind of ignites, and these iridescent green vines that are covered with leaves start to spread across his body, and there's a strong smell of pine and earth in the air, and then it kind of slowly fades, and I've just cast mage armor on myself.
Actual
I cast mage armor as well.
Real mage armor.
Real mage armor as opposed to blinky shiny armor. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So who's entering first? Obviously, Rom's on the back entrance and you two on the front.
Don't worry, Longstride. I have your back. And he draws this literally little dagger.
Yeah, I'll enter from the front with my shield and axe drawn.
All right. You gonna do it sneakily? You're trying to just rush in there before you can do anything.
I think we should be quiet, shouldn't we? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to at least be somewhat quiet.
All right, roll me a stealth check.
Going again.
See how this goes.
Stealth. 20.
Well, Longstride's gonna make the first check here.
That is a crit.
Pretty good. Yeah, so Longstride, you're like a freaking ninja. You silently step in there, and you see this guy just kind of standing there over this crate, and he has this big backpack. You can see like 2 separate pouches inside of it, but he's completely unaware of you guys. As Little Fox is right behind you. This guy doesn't know this Little Fox either.
I just wait like 30 seconds to see if Rama arrives. If he's snuck in yet. If not,
yeah, Rom.
Yeah, he appeared.
I guess he would kind of want to peek through the rat, see where this guy's going first.
Oh, he's standing there. He doesn't even notice Longstride. But you said you're like standing there for a few seconds while you wait for.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if Ram appears like around the corner.
Yeah,
because I don't want to rush the guy, so he just runs off in the opposite direction. He gets away. So. Yeah.
So as you guys are kind of.
Yeah, that's why I went through the back.
Yeah, you said you're standing there for like 10, 15 seconds waiting for him. This guy is completely. This guy is completely oblivious. But as you're standing there waiting for Rom to kind of act in coordination with you guys. You notice one of the shelves farther away from him, kind of almost behind you guys, an object falls down off them and hits the ground. And as the object hits the ground, this guy's ears perk up and he kind of comes to attention. He stares around very quickly, trying to see what's going on here. And with that, he kind of looks and what was your stealth you had? Well, I know you had a 20, Little Fox.
22. But...
13, yeah. So he looks around nervously and he says, "Who's there? I know you're there. I see you. Come out or I'll put you down myself." And you see this guy pulls out a short sword.
City guard, drop your weapon.
Yeah, and I kick the back door open. City guard, drop your weapon!
And
He's going to come out into the light, step towards this
And you
guy.
just see like the light just whoop, like a bright light from the hood.
This
From your
guy,
headlight.
yeah, this guy sees all 3 of you, and he just immediately looks like he's been caught with his pants down. And he says, all right, guys. I understand this looks strange, but I do work here. And he carefully places his weapon down, and he puts his hands up.
All right. Let me see some ID. Do I recognize this guy from my former life or anything like that?
He looks like maybe vaguely familiar, but he's not a person you ever met personally. So you like walk up to him and you want to check his ID?
Yeah, and I'd be checking to see like if there's any signs of any like known signs of like counterfeits and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
And as he does this, you see him. He reaches into his bag to show you his ID. And
Slowly, I say.
Yes, I understand. Slowly, and he kind of rifles through it a bit, and he finally finds this object. You have to imagine it's his wallet or some sort of equivalent thereof, and he presents it to you, and he says, "Oh, this is my ID right here." And he hands it to you.
All right. I use Mage Hand to take it out of his hand.
Yeah, and as you pull out of his hand, this guy kind of looks at you, and he's like a little bit impressed that you're like a wizard or something. And as soon as you kind of look at this, you're a bit confused. This doesn't look like paperwork. It looks like the scrawling of a madman. And as your eyes kind of look up to see what's going on here, this guy pulls a dagger out and he just lunges right at you.
I would have been like
trying to
15
stab
feet
at you.
back from him.
Yeah, for sure. He's lunging at you regardless. But with that, we're gonna roll for initiative. This guy obviously does not want to give you his identification, and he obviously is in a compromising position here. So everybody roll initiative.
Oh no! I was not expecting it. I was like, all right, this guy's gonna he's gonna cooperate.
For
just
sure.
checking. I think I get advantage.
This is gonna be fine, guys. Like,
Yeah, you definitely have
gonna come in
advantage
without fight.
as a ranger.
The new ranger, yeah.
Got 1.
Hard to remember.
I mean, so you roll twice, keep the high one.
Yeah, no, it's just hard to remember where I get it from.
It's your level 1 ability.
Natural
trust me.
Explorer, yeah.
Yes.
There it is, right.
Your OP level 1 ability here.
Yeah. Alright, so that's a 11.
And 11. Well,
Not so great.
surprisingly, what's your modifier?
+2. So, yeah, 9 plus 2.
Alright. We're gonna reroll this off to see which one of you go first. You got a 7 on the die.
Alright, I'm re-rolling, hold on. 19.
Yeah, so this guy is a little bit. He seems like he's almost a little bit faster than you, but you have the reach advantage, and you get to go first. I'd say I don't know how far away you think you are from this guy.
Well, I would have gone up to him, so not very far at all.
Okay, so you see this guy. He pulls a knife out and he starts to run right at Rom, but you get to act first.
Yeah, I'm gonna just turn my axe head around and try and smack him around the back of the head. Non-lethal, no blade, just the butt end of the head of the axe.
Yeah, and as you see this guy beginning to run, you do notice he is wearing studded leather armor, so he seems like he's perhaps a little bit more professional than most
Okay.
of these people.
As he hasn't acted, I just accidentally. As he hasn't acted, I think I get advantage as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ranger.
Thanks, advantage.
Right, so that. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
No, so Uthal, describe your failure.
So he's just too quick for me, and my swipe misses. Because that's only an 8. So he's just a little bit too quick.
So this guy
Gets away.
ducks underneath your strike, and you see his eyes are locked on Rom. Is there anything you'd like to do with your movement?
So he
just
would
keep on.
he would be
getting behind
15
him.
feet away from me.
Yeah, for sure.
In melee with a Goliath, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna just try and keep on following him as he runs towards Ram.
Okay. Up next would be this guy. He would see this Goliath just horribly miss, just surprised with the speed of this Goliath, and he would smile as he kind of lunges right at Rom. But as he lifts up his blade to strike, you notice this guy has no interest in that, and he just darts right past you, Rom. and you see him run right for the door that you had walked away from to walk up to him. And he just reaches for the door, opens it, and as quick as that, this guy is already outside. He is astonishingly fast. And he's already outside, but obviously the encounter is not over yet. And we're going to go to the next person in initiative here, which I believe is... Which one of you guys had higher initiative?
That is Olo. Olo had an 11.
All right.
I mean, an 8, sorry. 8. So Olo says, "Quickly, we must get after him." And he runs, and he jumps up onto Longstride's back, and just holds on and says, "Run!" Because he knows his little short legs just aren't going to be able to keep up.
By the way, Uthal, you could have used a reaction when he fled from you. He ran away at you at full speed.
Well, you automatically get a tax of opportunity in 5th.
Right.
If he leaves your threat
They
range.
leave your...
Yeah.
They leave your,
You are free to make an attack against this guy.
Oh, you... Okay.
He did not disengage. He ran out full speed.
Get him.
He has no time to...
I was wondering whether... I didn't want to speak up because you were talking. So.
If I do something like that, feel free to ask.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm usually not going to make a mistake. If you don't want to bring it up, I just won't bring it up.
Would I get an opportunity attack as well?
I think you're focusing on a mage hand spell right now, so probably not.
Right, I shall make another.
Yeah, you were casting that spell and he ran past you. You haven't even got to react yet.
Alright, that's a 17 altogether.
That's definitely a hit.
Alright, this is just with the back of the axe. Oops, wrong button. So that's a D8.
Take his legs.
Okay, so that's 5 damage altogether.
Okay, you kind of hit this guy in the side as he runs past you. He kind of winces a bit, but you tell this guy's a lot tougher than the common drunks and drug addicts you were messing with earlier. And with that, Lionel, you said you hop on your friend's back. Is that it?
That's what Olo would do. He'd run up and jump up onto Longstride's back and just grab right a hold of whatever he can, and he'll be like, "Come on, run, friend!"
Do you want to ready in action? I'll let you ready in action.
Yeah,
Describe what you want to do.
So what I would do is he would just kind of shimmy up Longstride's back so that he kind of... Remember the Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, like Master Blaster?
Oh, no.
There's the big... No, okay, so anyways, there's this big guy and this little guy. So he's like the little guy. So he'd be like peeking up over Longstride's shoulder, and he's got like an arm like kind of draped up over his left shoulder to hold on. And the minute he sees this guy, he's going to fire an Eldritch Blast at him.
Okay. So, we'll go with that. And Rom, this guy has just run right past you. You are... maybe a little bit embarrassed, but not too much. He's definitely not too far away from you.
Okay. I'd run right after him.
All right. I'd say it would take you your 15 feet of movement, and you would open up the well, actually, the door would have been open because he just burst out of it. And you kind of look left and you look right, and all of a sudden you realize that you don't know where he's gone. He's vanished.
I look up.
You look up. Okay, yeah. You immediately look up and you see this guy starting to climb up onto the roof.
Cast catapult at him.
Okay.
He has to make a dex save.
Sure. Yeah, he easily
So he like
passes.
takes a damn it.
Easily passes.
All right, yeah, he takes like the net that he has out of his pack. You just see it kind of like whirl in the air and then and, like go right at him, but it misses. So what he's gonna do is use his interaction to take out his grappling hook and throw it up, and use the rest of his movement to climb after him.
Yeah. Up next is Uthal. You see that this guy is just kind of beginning to run up this scale up this building to try to get up on the roof. And what do you do here?
Like how high is the roof? Yeah, sprint like right down the corridor, out the door. How far?
Yeah.
Like how high up?
I would say it's about 20 feet up. With
Okay.
that, I'd say you spend about 20 feet of movement to get outside. You have 10 feet of movement left, and you
Yeah.
see this guy is already halfway up the wall. You know that this guy is an incredibly fast climber to be up this fast already.
Okay. I'm gonna take out a hand axe and throw it, aiming for his leg to try and cripple him.
All right, go for it.
Let's see.
I'll say before you do that, though, Ola will do his ready action.
Yeah,
That's what
sure.
you want to do.
Actually, my ready action was last round, so I think I would lose it.
But no,
Right.
it continues on, doesn't it?
It continues until your turn.
Yeah.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the minute Olo sees Longstride look up and he sees Rom looking up, he looks up, and what he does is he snaps his fingers like he did before, and there's that green spark. But this time he says this word, and it would probably sound very familiar to Rom because it sounds very sylvan, almost elvish, and he goes Wishath, and as he snaps his fingers, this crackling bolt of green iridescent energy leaps up and tries to strike this guy. I will cast Eldritch Blast. and I scorch the side of Longstride's face. No, let me see if I have inspiration. Did anybody get inspiration last game?
You got one for telling us the recap.
Oh, okay. I will use my inspiration then,
All right.
because I don't want to cook my friend. So that would be a 16.
All right, so I'll describe what happens here. Actually, you cast a spell and you get scared. You think you burnt your friend, but at the last second, you realize that was just a reflection on the water. And
wait. Sorry to cut you off, but actually I don't have to use my inspiration. I just forgot. I'm a halfling, so when I rolled that one, I can automatically re-roll it, and I have to keep the next roll.
that's true. You have the
Woohoo!
luck. You have the luck. So
I'm lucky.
yeah.
So what it does, maybe, it brushes right past his face.
And through some unknown force, it hits like some strangely reflective surface, and instead of missing horribly, it bounces up and nails this guy as he's climbing. Roll damage here.
Cool. And that's 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage. All right, you hit this guy, and you hear him kind of let out like a groan, and I'll roll to see if he falls off the building from that strike. An acrobatic strike. Yeah, he easily manages to hang on. And this guy's foot kind of slips a little bit, but he manages to keep his footing on.
So it's not my turn. I'll do my turn. Oh, actually, if it's a free action, Olo would just be all excited, and he'd be like, because he hit somebody with this burst of electric magical energy, and he's like, I got him! Climb, friend! Climb! And he's like yelling in your ear, Longstride, not realizing that it's like he's like inches from it.
Yeah, for sure. And Longstride, you slip out here, and you see this guy up here gets hit by an Eldritch Blast, and he looks pretty badly injured, but not like mortally wounded. But you do know from just how fast this guy moves that he seems faster than you. So keep that in mind. He is a rogue after all.
I think it's probably going to get away. I'm going to try and take out a hand axe and either aim for his leg or his hand or something. Try and make him lose his grip. Whichever looks easiest.
All right. If you want to do something specific like that,
yeah,
I will. You can attack with disadvantage, but what will happen is if you hit him, then he'll have to make a save at disadvantage to try to stay on there.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to kill him, and it's possible that I might kill him because you said he seems quite badly wounded?
He's not bloodied, but he's close to bloodied.
Hmm.
Your friend's Eldritch Blast was not as powerful as he would have hoped.
No. Yeah, let's give that a go. Why not?
Yeah, go for it.
Right. So that is a 19 altogether.
Yeah, that definitely is a hit. So you throw this thing up there and you hit this guy right in the hand. He cries out in pain. Roll damage on that.
Sure. D6. So damage is a 8.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you hit this guy, and you just see blood spraying down on you. It's like a trickle of it across your face as this guy looks badly injured at this point, and he's still holding on. He managed to pass his save with double 13s on the die.
Damn.
But you notice he is starting to have trouble climbing this. And anything else you'd like to do for your movement?
Well, with the last
there's
of my move, I'm going to just try and start climbing up, shouting, "Give up now!" Stop right there, as he just attempts to climb up.
There is actually a grappling
thing.
hook set up there that your friend put up there.
Well, I'm assuming he's using it.
We can both use it.
I don't know. It will support both our weights, so he's just going to start climbing up. I mean, you know, he's
It's a fantasy rope.
he's athletic.
Support
He's
as much
light.
weight as
Make
it
me
can
an
support as much
make me
weight
an-
as you want.
Make me an athletics check to see how your climb starts off.
Sure. It's my athletics. Cool. Right. That is a natural 20.
Yeah, you get going, and almost immediately, just climbing up this building, you find yourself right up behind this guy.
Yep.
And his blood is kind of dripping down on you as you kind of get right up on this guy. And he kind of is bleeding down on you, and in his turn he looks down, he sees that you've already caught up to him. And he's not sure what to do. And he kind of looks down, and he's just panicking. He's like, oh no, I can't go like this, no. And he grabs one of his daggers off his belt, and he tries to do the same thing to you, but it's not quite as hard for him because you're literally just right beneath him.
Yep.
He kind of turns, he just stabs you right in the hand. And
I put away my shield at this point because obviously I'm climbing.
yeah, and that'll be a nat 1. So you see this guy, he tries to stab you in the hand, but his other hand is already bleeding, and his hand loses grip, and you just see him kind of fall, and he just kind of falls right on top of you. Make me an athletics check to see if you stay up.
Sure. That is a 16.
Yeah, so you kind of are standing there, and you just see this guy kind of slip and fall right on top of you, but you manage to hold on, and this guy, he's not unconscious or anything, but he hits you with a loud thud, and although you don't fall off, you kind of start sliding down, because although you're a Goliath, it's pretty hard to climb with like 200 pounds on your back.
Yeah.
And you kind of slide down a bit, but you fell right into your arms with that roll.
How romantic.
How romantic. And up next is Olo. You see, you're kind of on the back of this Goliath, and this criminal that was trying to run away is literally right on top of him. What do you do? The criminal looks badly injured at this point.
Knock him out, Olo.
Yeah. Knock him out. And you see him. He just takes like his dagger, and he just kind of reaches down past. Like he goes down underneath. Well, which side is his head on? The right or the left?
The right side.
Yeah. So he kind of like scrambles over, and he just kind of goes with the base of his dagger like on his head, on the guy's head to knock him out.
All right, make an attack with advantage. This
Okay.
guy's like laid out on top of your friend.
Yeah, that's a. Oh wow, that's a 23.
All right. Yeah, how much damage is that on equally?
That is going to be 4 points of damage.
Yeah, you club this guy in the back of the head, and he just kind of goes limp.
And you could tell that Olo he's just not comfortable with that. Like he's never like really hit a person like this before. And he kind of drops off of Longstride's back, and he's kind of like breathing heavy, and he goes, I did it. I did it. I did right, Longstride. That's what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, climbing down, holding onto this guy, grabbing a set of manacles and just tying his hands together and taking away the knife and checking his body. Yes, Ola, you did well. Although I'd appreciate it if you asked before you climbed on top of me next time.
Yeah. I got excited.
I'm not your Steve.
Sorry.
And as you guys are kind of awkwardly discussing this guy's still on your back right now. He's kind of awkwardly there, but you kind of slide down to the ground. And as you guys kind of all get to the ground, you hear a very familiar sound, the sound of a whistle. A signal whistle.
Get out of here,
Bruce. And this guy is completely unconscious.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do?
Yeah, I take a set of manacles out and cuff him, and then listen out for if there's like a second whistle note.
Yeah, you would know that generally they don't whistle it in quick unison. But I need this is very important. I need to know exactly what you guys are doing.
So there's one whistle was everything's okay?
No, one whistle is help. 2 whistles is all clear.
Well.
So this guy is sitting here unconscious on the ground. You're free to manacle him up, whatever you wish.
Yeah. I'm manacling.
Yeah, let's
drag him back into this. So Ola would just pipe up and say, "Let's drag him back into this warehouse and see what he was doing there."
Didn't you hear that whistle? Gotta go help.
We'll take him with us.
Yeah, Uthal will, while sort of heading towards the sound of the whistle, will pick up this guy and do his best to one-handedly tie his legs together.
All right.
Yeah, Joe, I would quickly check what's in the box.
All right, this is sure. You open up the box and you notice it's a bunch of horseshoes. But
right.
you can spend more time and examine the horseshoes if you wish.
I'd take one of them.
Take one of them, okay?
And knock on the bottom, just really quick to see if there's a fake.
No, it looks like a bunch of horseshoes filling up the whole box.
All right, I'd grab one of the horseshoes and take a note of any symbol that's on the side before we take this guy and go and help.
Okay, and while this is all going down, Olo, I need to know what you're up to.
I am just I'm standing next to Ram, and what Ram would see is he would see Olo mirroring everything he's doing. So he grabs this horseshoe. Olo grabs a horseshoe. He kicks the side of this box, and Olo is kicking the side of the box.
Okay.
He's not quite sure why he's kicking the side of the box, but if Ram's doing it, there must be a reason for it, so he's helping out.
Yeah, and as you guys are investigating this, you hear the signal whistles again, but this time there's just a whole shitload of whistles going off. And like more than 2, obviously. And
yeah.
Oh geez,
I wouldn't be taking a lot of time with this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, give me an idea of how long it's taking you to do this.
Maybe 10 seconds.
All right, we'll go with 10 seconds on that. Be aware that a round is 6 seconds, so you guys spent 2 rounds investigating this.
Okay.
And you're gonna run over to try to see what's going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you basically, while they're investigating it, you manacle up this unconscious guy.
Yeah, tie his legs as well.
That's going to take you more than 6 seconds to do. He's already unconscious. I'll let you do one or the other unless you want to spend more time to do it.
Let's just tie up his...
Yeah, well, I'm gonna manacle him.
Okay.
Well, could I take my manacles and just manacle my other pair and manacle his legs?
Yeah, but I'm saying it's take. I guess you could do
It's
manacle.
not going to take
legs
as
and
long
manacle
as
arms.
wrapping up his legs.
Can I have my mage hand work on manacling him while we're running?
That's a little intense. But I'll
Can I give
say
an Arcana check
everybody,
or something to see if I can do it?
while you two are doing that, Uthal, make me a perception check.
Sure thing. That is a 15.
Yeah, you're completely oblivious to this, and while you're manacling this guy, you see a dagger fly out from the darkness and hits this guy that you had manacled up right in the throat, and you just see blood ooze out of his neck, and it's quite clear this guy is dead now. And it quickly comes back to you guys that maybe there was a second guy there the whole time, and as this guy is sitting there kind of dead on the ground, your friends come out and they witness what just happened. You're holding this dead guy, and they had just inspected these crates, and you hear a guy running away. What do you guys do?
Dropping the guy down, like dropping the guy's body. I'm just gonna sprint after this. Sprint after this guy as fast as possible.
This guy, not your
The guy that's running off.
Yeah, well, this guy is running away. You notice he's like really high up, and you kind of notice the angle of what this happened from, and this guy is up in like this. He's he's poking out of a window in the second level of this 20-foot tall building. You see him kind of run off, and what do the other two of you do as you see this? As you see your partner try to run off after this guy? Are you going to run with him, or are you going to try to help out your coworkers who are whistling for help?
Oh golly, oh gee, oh golly, we gotta help. It's the whistles. We gotta do the whistles.
Yeah, Uthal can handle himself. But Joe, I'd like to cast Catapult at that guy as he runs off first.
Well, you don't even notice him.
Oh, I don't?
Uthal didn't even notice him until he killed the guy. The guy rolled a nat 20 in his stealth check, which I think Uthal might have seen me roll a 20, but the guy nat 20'd, sniped the guy, and he ran off. You guys step outside. You don't even know you don't even know how this guy died. You just see there's a dagger in his throat, and Uthal is standing on top of him.
All right. Well, I think Ram would trust that Uthal's competent.
Okay.
So he'd shout out, meet us where the whistles are.
Okay. And with that, I will say, obviously there's a price to pay for everything you guys do here. The two of you, Olo and Ram, are you guys just running to there as fast as you can?
Yeah.
All right. I'll say, Olo, you're not quite as fast as Ram, being a halfling, so it takes you an extra.
Can I grab him?
You can't. Just no. You're not. How strong are you?
Not very.
Yeah, long stride could carry him without a speed penalty, but you cannot. It's not a big difference.
With all my gear, I'm 70 pounds.
Yeah, that's a lot for him. I'll say, I mean, it's not a huge deal. You get to act one round before Olo does, okay? And you get to the scene, and it looks pretty bad. You see a dead thug on the ground, and you see two of your companions, Hardy and Kenai, are fighting 5 criminals. These guys are all carrying knives, and one of these criminals looks pretty badly injured, but Hardy and Kenai look way more injured at this point. There's just so many guys on them. They've been whistling for help, and Hardy's a pretty tough guy, the alcoholic guy. He likes to fight, but even he's looking a little bit worse for wear.
All right, Joe.
Yeah.
Got a plan.
Okay. Give me 1 second here. Let me write down their current hit points, seeing as you guys did take a little longer to get here than they were hoping for. So it's 5. Oh, shit. Minus. Shit. Yeah, so you'll see Kenai is badly injured, and Hardy is pretty close to badly injured as well. So what are you trying to do here?
All right. As he like sprints around the corner and like slides in this rainy, slippery cobblestone, you just see like his eyes narrow, and he shouts, "Hey, get away from them!" And he you just see like this blue aura like expand from his sword and like enshroud him, and he seems to move quicker and more gracefully as he activates his blade song. And he's gonna just get in amongst them and then cast Thunder Wave.
Oh, well, that's what you think you're gonna do, because first you have to roll initiative to determine what you're gonna do.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do on my initiative.
Well, now they know what you're gonna do, and they're gonna metagame so hard right now. No. Everybody roll me an initiative. Uthal, we're gonna do you last, okay? You're not gonna be a part of this encounter because you ran out after somebody else. And I'll say that you probably aren't gonna be in here for a while.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna use my inspiration on that.
Hey, if I could give you a suggestion, Joe, what I've done in the past when a party is split like this and it's going to be an encounter or something, I usually do a couple rounds with one group and then shift over to the other one so that you don't have any one player sitting around. Just a suggestion. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can kind of put us on our own initiative and like.
Yeah, I understand. For sure. Well,
I don't mind listening. So just like do like a few rounds with that one, so it doesn't sort of seem a bit, mashed.
yeah, for sure. So we'll go with. Okay. So let me get your guys' initiatives down. Rom, what's your initiative?
Mine's 10.
Okay. Initiative of 10. Ola, what's your initiative?
15.
15. Okay. I will roll for your coworkers here. Okay.
I rolled a 10 because I had an advantage. I didn't roll both at once. I rolled a 2 and an 8.
Okay, and let me roll for these thugs. Okay, 14. Yeah, so with that on the initiative, what was your initiative, Uthal? I'm sorry?
10.
10, okay. That was with advantage?
Yeah, that was with advantage. I rolled a 2 and an 8. I rolled one at a time for some reason.
All right, the first up is Olo. You basically run as fast as you can, going first in initiative. And you kind of get there, and you're not quite fast. You're not quite fast enough to actually act this turn. You spend your whole turn catching up. And then you see these thugs. They're kind of smiling. They kind of have your coworkers cornered. You do realize immediately that they're not wearing their armor. They're kind of unarmored, kind of wearing plain clothes. You're not sure what happened. And these 5 thugs kind of smile as they lunge at your coworkers. We're going to have 2 are going to attack each of your coworkers. And then one kind of turns as he sees you guys approach. And he kind of runs up to try to stop you guys. So we're going to go and do the first 2 are going to be against Hardy. And they each have 2 daggers out. So you'll see 4 attacks are made against Hardy. And this guy is a tough brawler-looking guy. And the 4 attacks they make, ooh, shit. And those rolls don't play. You see this guy, your brawler associate, just get stabbed 3 times. He already looks badly injured. Kind of wishes you guys got here a little bit faster. And he takes 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, shit. 7 plus 6, 13. Yeah, he gets stabbed twice, and you just kind of see blood is just oozing everywhere out on this guy. And his eyes start to kind of fade a bit. And he's not unconscious, but he is on the brink of death pretty much now. One more stab and this guy is absolutely done. And the other 2 kind of aim their attention on your ranger associates, and
Oh, no.
just immediately they all just stick him, and he just immediately is just dropped. You know that he is just been stabbed in the neck like just viciously, and this guy is at the very least unconscious, maybe dead at this point. And then the last guy kind of runs up, and Little Fox has caught up to you guys at this point, and he kind of looks at the two of you. Yeah. He goes straight for Little Fox, and he pulls out his 2 daggers, and he just stabs at you, Little Fox, with a 1-2 stab. And well, now my dice fail. What's your armor class?
16.
Yeah, he easily misses you. And up next is Rom. You see, actually, it's not Rom. It's well, yeah, I guess. Actually, up next is
I think it'd
Hardy.
be
Your brutish looking coworker. He's actually the next to act, and you just kind of see him growl as he kind of pulls out this massive battle axe, and he just swipes it right at one of these guys who just took out his coworker. And you just see him he's infuriated that these guys had attacked him, and he just recklessly attacks, trying to just fucking jeez, these dice rolls. He's way too bloodied. His hands, he just kind of swings wide, and he kind of falls to one knee. You can see he's breathing just heavily. At this point, there's 4 guys have just completely surrounded this guy. And up next is Rom.
all right. Yeah, I basically do what I described earlier. You just
Be aware
see.
that these guys are. There's literally 1 guy on each side of your ally here.
Yeah, really? All right. God damn it. Let me think. Can I go where? I guess I can't just like go into a space. That won't work. Fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna go in and try to hit at least 2 of them with Thunderwave.
Sure, I'll let you hit 2 with Thunderwave.
Con saves.
Sure. What's your DC?
They both pass.
Yeah.
God.
They definitely pass. How much damage is it though?
7, so I take 3.
They take 3. So your Thunderwave goes off, and one of these guys that was injured prior to your arrival, since the fight went on longer than they were expecting, this guy just drops immediately, even from 3 damage. But even still, there's still 4 guys left, and yeah, that's
Just magic missile.
good of magic missile, I suppose.
All right,
but
that's all I got.
So let me do the numbers here. Okay, and up next, I believe is we're gonna do Uthul, and just after this, I want to get a few combats here out of the way. We're gonna go back to Olo. You see that they just literally just stabbed, they just like gored and just impaled your elven associate, and he just, you see like literally a knife just in this guy's throat. He's just down on the ground, bleeding
So-
out massively.
So Rom is over trying to help
Hardy, the
Hardy.
brute-
Okay,
brutish guy.
the alcoholic. And there's 3 guys there now.
There's 3 guys on there.
And there's 1 near me.
He's right in front of you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what Olo does is he sees this big brutish dude trying to kill him. What is he using for a weapon?
This guy. These guys that are attacking you all have knives.
Yeah. So
They're not particularly huge. I mean, obviously compared to you, they're huge.
right. So how far away is the rest of the group from where I am with this guy?
I'd say they're like 20 feet away from you.
Perfect. So he just tosses this bag of dust up in the air, and he says, "Lore!" and it it explodes with a like a puff of green, and it just settles down. And I'm gonna pick the point just behind this guy, so it doesn't hit me, but it hits him, and I'm gonna try to put this guy to sleep.
Just the one guy, or
Just
all?
put it on the crowd, man.
Yeah.
I'm an elf.
Are they all humans?
Yeah, these guys are all humans.
Yeah, okay,
You
I'm
do
gonna
know from
Yeah, but it's
what you
gonna
guys
put
have
him.
noticed in this town, most of the people here are human. If you see another one, it would be something I would kind of mention because it's
Right.
a bit strange.
See, my fear is that I would put Hardy to sleep because he's pretty hurt.
Well, to be fair, he's going to sleep as soon as it's the thug's turn.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
It
so
might actually save his life if you do that.
yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I'm going to boom. I'll center it right over where Rom is. And let me what is it? It's 5d8, I think. Yeah,
5d8.
5d8. Come on, give me 5s. Give me 8. 8, 16, 24, 26 hit points I put to sleep.
26, yeah. You see Hardy just immediately passes out, and two of the other guys kind of nod off and they pass out as well. And that was a very potent spell you cast.
Yep. And Olo's going to say, "Oh, goodness. Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh." And I'm going to try to run through this guy's leg for my movement to run more, like just dash off, like at like askew to where Rom and Hardy are.
The guy who's on you did not fall asleep. The people that were
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's going to get an attack of opportunity. And
where are you trying to run off to?
I'm imagining like this guy's in front of me and the
Yeah.
group's further beyond. So
Yeah.
I'm running so that I'm not like running away, but I'm just trying to run away. But
Okay.
kind of like I'm gonna like duck down between his legs and try to run past him. So I'm
Yeah. He stabs at you, opportunity attack, getting a 12 as he kind of bounces it off your mage armor a little bit.
yeah.
And
So I feel this cut kind of just graze my back, and it cuts more into my shirt than my flesh. And I'm just like, "Whoa, that was close! That was close!" And I mean, he's just like you just hear his feet pitty pattering as he's running across the cobblestones, scared shitless.
And with that, we're going to go to the next person initiative, which are these thugs. That guy who you just ran away from. What did you just run off to the side? Like,
Yeah, to the left of where the main group is.
like, are you trying to like kind of hide from them?
Nope. No, he would
Get
definitely
close
see
to
me.
me.
He would definitely see me running. I'm like, I want to be a moving target. Olo's plan is I'm going to be a moving target. It's hard to hit something when it's moving. My pa always says it's harder to hit something when it's moving. So he's trying to keep moving.
Yeah, he sees you run, and he's just like, "Fuck this little shit," and he just turns around, and you see the one guy who's still standing next to Hardy. He's about ready to just kill Hardy, but Hardy's passed out as well, and he turns around, and you see both men just charge right at Rom, and they attempt to stick him like a pig. And the first guy makes his 2 dagger attacks at you. Oh shit!
Oh,
Dude, these dice rolls are just fucking brutal. So yeah, his
kicking
first,
a lucky feet.
and his first strike is a crit on you. And oh my god,
How much does it do?
that's 9 damage.
Woo, baby! I'm still alive.
Yeah, and then after that strike, the second guy comes out as well and stabs out at you. That's a 15 to hit you.
They both miss.
So yeah, this other guy kind of stabs at you twice, barely missing, and he's a bit confused by your movements. It's like, what are you? And with that, we're gonna go to next person in initiative here, who is Hardy, who is unconscious, and now we're back up to Rom. You have these 2 guys kind of flanking you right now, one on each side of you.
Yeah, and when he says like,
Hardy
"What
is
are
unconscious.
you?" I say, "I'm Justice." And which one is more injured than the other?
Neither guy is injured. They're both uninjured.
Oh shit!
The guys
Okay.
who were injured were the first ones to fall asleep, in accordance to the spell.
All right. I'm gonna cast.
I almost felt like this was designed for 3-player characters.
Almost. Oh, that makes sense. I'm gonna cast Green Flame Blade.
Yeah, for sure. I
And
have no idea what that spell does, so you gotta help me. On that.
basically, if I hit, it like carries over almost like a cleave and does my intelligence modifier of damage to an adjacent guy. And like as I go up in level, it like scales up.
All right, go.
Oh!
Describe your epic failure of an attack. I wanna hear this.
Take my inspiration right now. Take it right
Thank you,
now.
God. Thank you.
If you roll a 1 again, this is gonna be terrible.
That would have been bad.
Just saying. Okay,
Okay, good.
much better.
That's a 20.
So you almost feel like your weapon's gonna slip out of your hands, but then for some reason you think of Olo and you just like start laughing, and your strike manages.
And like freaks him out. It's like, what the fuck? This guy's crazy.
Yeah, and your strike that almost seems like it was gonna be a miss. This guy accidentally kind of walks into the blade as you strike him.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, your guys' rolls are just fucking legendary.
I do 4 damage to one and 3 damage to the other. You just see like his sword flare up with blue flame, and he like slashes across one, and like even though the stroke stops, the flame continues and like hits the other guy and like smolders.
Yeah,
But it
for
doesn't
sure.
do that much.
And
That's all I got.
yeah, and up next in the initiative is Olo. You just kind of ran away from this guy, leaving your friend
Help me.
as your friend just got stabbed like really badly. The damage he took from that arrow looks like nothing compared to this dagger strike. It's like digging into your kidneys almost.
So,
Yeah.
how far away is Olo from them, from Rom and
I'd
the
say
two
you're like
guys?
25 feet away.
Okay, so I can make it there. So I'm going to run over there, and maybe as an no, that would be an action. So as I get in close, he's just going to as he gets in close, probably within 5 feet of the group, he just goes, "You will not hurt my friends." But as he does this green iridescent pulse of flame, it's almost like this flaming wisps just shoots up around him, and he takes on this fey ominous presence, and all of them have to make a DC. Oh, I gotta see what my DC is.
13.
So DC 13 wisdom save.
Wisdom
Or be
save.
frightened. Or be
Yeah,
frightened.
one of them is not frightened, but the other guy looks terrified. What does the fear do to them? Do they have to run away? Do they?
Yeah, they have the frightened condition, so they have to. I believe they have to run away till the end of my next turn.
Okay. So
Opportunity attack, eh?
yeah. So I believe up next is
Actually, I don't believe when someone's frightened away. I don't believe that
Yeah, you
provokes
do.
an attack
Yeah, it
of
does.
opportunity.
Yeah, if you get pushed away, you don't. Or like pulled away
yeah.
by a spell.
So we'll go to the thugs. The one guy who sees this strange fucking Fey monster appear, he just fucking flips out. He just tries to run, but before he can run now, the other guy is gonna try to shank Rom
Oh man.
with his 2 daggers. Oh,
Oh, thank Jesus.
he looks a bit more shaken than you could imagine. His first strike is kind of wobbly, and you kind of see the dagger slip out of his hand and scrape across the floor. And his second strike isn't much better. And with that, you see the other guy just turn tail and run, provoking attacks of opportunity from both of you.
Hey there, buddy. That's a 21.
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
round on him and smack him with the butt of my sword.
Yeah, this guy's armor class is 13, so I believe you also hit him as well, Lionel.
Yeah, I got a 16 with my dagger.
9 damage.
Ooh, shit. You crack this guy over the head, Dan, and he kind of staggers a bit. And Little Fox, tell me how you dropped this guy.
Roll, baby.
What did you say happened as Dan strikes him with his sword? Or
Dan-
as Rom does?
Yeah, Rom cracks this guy over the skull, and he staggers like he just looked like he just got a concussion. Like
Right.
He's barely standing, and you drop this guy.
So Little Fox he's not a very skilled in the martial arts. So as he goes, what he's trying to do is like hamstring the guy because he's seen other guys do that, like with farm animals when they try to get, you hobble them. So he's trying to hobble this guy with his dagger, but what he unfortunately does is he jabs it into his leg, and as he pulls it out, he hits the eye's artery, and blood just kind of just sprays out across Olo, and the guy just kind of he's like grabbing at his leg. He drops his other dagger, but it's too late. I mean, he just falls to the ground and he just bleeds out.
So you weren't trying to non-lethally strike him; you just tried to kill him.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, Olo kills this guy, and this guy is dead. And they're like, oh, it's okay. You got like 3 or 4 more, whatever. This guy just drops dead on the ground. He is DED dead. Let me write that down in the notes here. You dead. All right, so you got other guys. Don't worry about it. And up next is Kenai is oof, Hardy is oof. Rom. You see this one guy is left. What do you do?
I pick up his dagger, and I'm going to attack and use the bonus action to attack.
All right, go for it.
Oh my Jesus!
Yeah, you.
Yeah,
Oof.
he doesn't know how to use a frickin'. He doesn't know how to fight with 2 weapons. He's focusing on just using the sword, so it kind of throws him off. Tries to stab at him completely amateurishly and misses.
Yeah, and with that, we're gonna hop over to our other little combat display we have here. That'll be, yeah, okay. Yeah, Uthel's not that fast. Okay, our other combat here. So Uthel, you begin chasing after this guy, kind of run into the building, and you see this guy, and he just immediately just darts right across to the other side. And unfortunately for you, he rolled higher than you on initiative.
Yeah, it's like, I think he got a 12 or something like that.
Yeah. You got actually a little bit higher than a 12 because he has modifiers. But regardless, this guy immediately just books it all the way across this wooden catwalk. And as quickly as you notice, this guy is immediately all the way on the other side of this building. It's very dark. It's very hard for you to see in here without lights, and your normal vision is kind of betraying you in this dark place. You can see his outline kind of in the darkness, far away, but it's very hard for you to make out any details now.
So, I've gone back into the warehouse that I came from. Was it the one across from the?
No, the same warehouse this guy was in.
Same warehouse. Okay. He's gonna just run down the sort of between the 2 entrances, sort of keep looking up, but keep on sort of glancing ahead of him, just trying to follow where this guy goes.
All right, well, this guy's still inside the building, so he's running to the opposite side of the building. Basically, he's running to near the front exit, since you guys were at the back exit.
Do I see any stairs up to the catwalks?
No, but you do notice that there's another window, kind of matching the one he killed his associate out of.
Yeah. Okay, he's probably going for that. Well, you just get as far as he can down the down into the warehouse, sort of going for the door. Kind of thinking maybe this guy's just going to run out the window. But
so you kind of
doesn't
dash.
have much hope.
You kind of dash out across, and as you kind of exit, you immediately kind of look up at the window, and as you would expect, this guy kind of bursts through the window, and you immediately kind of see him almost like a monkey, just kind of grabs up onto this building, and you see him climb up onto the roof. And this is already a pretty high window to begin with, so you see him easily manage to scale all the way up onto the roof, and he kind of vanishes out of sight. And he's
on the warehouse?
He's on top of the roof somewhere, but from your perspective on the ground level, remember this is 20 feet up.
Yeah.
He's kind of dipped out of sight on this this awning here, this overhang.
So sighing, realizing he's not gonna catch this guy.
You could climb up to the top in a round, but then
yeah, but
it's
even
up to
then,
you. You know.
No, this. Yeah, Uthel's just like, no, I can't catch this guy. And he's just gonna run back down, back into the warehouse and down the other side. Once he gets out, he's gonna collect his manacles off the dead guy. Well, checking he's dead first of all.
He's super dead. He has a dagger in his throat.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, and then I'm gonna just like quickly go through his pockets. If I don't find anything, like, just basically putting a hand in, seeing if there's anything in it, taking it out, not like a thorough search.
Yeah, from a very cursory examination, you don't have all the time in the world because you feel like maybe you're in a bit of a rush. He doesn't have anything identifying himself on him. You kind of notice the paperwork that he tried to hand to Rom was kind of on the ground there.
Yeah,
it's just a bunch. It seemed like a bunch of unintelligible nonsense.
Yeah, I'll take that, and then I'll just heft him up and put him on my shoulder and start running towards where I think the whistle sounds came from.
Yeah, roll me a survival check.
Survival. Okay.
See if you can kind of remember the exact location you heard it from. You kind of ran out. You kind of looked around a bit.
Okay. Let's see. For a ranger, I'm not very good at survival.
Oh, no.
No. Yes, I am, apparently.
Yeah, it immediately rings in your head. And you kind of can almost notice there's like the disturbances on the ground where this...
Yeah.
You also notice strange little piles of just disgusting grime on the ground where you just imagine this dirty halfling. Where this dirty halfling is running. You can even smell like a little bit of the muck he has on his feet as you easily manage to make chase. But kind of with the time you spent, you realize you're not going to be there quite as early as you would like. We're going to go back to combat here. At this point, it's probably about the time they actually start the combat after everything you've done.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do 2 more rounds with them, and then you'll be back in combat.
Yeah, sure thing.
So at this point, we go back here to the top. Olo, you are up next. There is one thug who is still alive. The other 2 are sleeping, and all the other thugs are dead.
Okay. So how close is this thug that's alive? He's
like right up next to you. He ran into melee range.
Okay. Let me see. I will menace him with my dagger. I believe. I think I hit him because I have a 14.
Yeah, 14 is a hit for sure.
Okay. All right. 5 points of damage.
Yeah, you stab this guy, and he just kind of grimaces in pain, and he looks panicked at this point. And on his turn, he'll use his action to shake awake one of his companions that you put a sleep spell on.
Oh.
So he kneels down and shakes this guy, and this guy kind of nods and awakes. And this guy is uninjured, but that's how he's going to spend his turn. And we're going to skip your 2 coworkers who are out of combat. Rom.
All right. I am gonna cast Flame Blade and attack with a bonus action.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hit the guy who's getting up from the ground.
Okay.
With the attack. First one. Yeah, that should hit.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Second one misses. But he's still the guy who's up still gets the spell mod damage. 5 to the guy on the ground and 3 to the guy next to him.
Yeah, this guy gets injured before he can even get up. And as your flame kind of jumps over to kill this other guy who's badly injured, he starts to kind of erupt into flames. But it's almost as if the rain itself saves this guy. He is just brutally maimed, bleeding everywhere, but he is still alive, just barely hanging on.
And as like
yeah.
the fire douses the flame, you just see the facade melting away as well, and you just see like this shrieking half face looking back at him. He just says, "I'm taking you to the brig."
Yeah. And this guy looks like he's terrified as well. And we'll go to the top of the initiative. At the end of this turn, you will hop in, Uthal, as you finally catch up to your allies. Olo, you have one guy here who's almost dead, and the other guy is on the brink of death.
So Olo just looks quickly at these guys, and then he looks down at Hardy, and he just moves over those few feet that are separating him from his sleeping compatriot, and he kind of kicks him awake. Get up! Rom needs you! He yells, and then with the rest of my movement, I guess I would pull out another dagger. So I have two little daggers, and as he's holding them, they're shaking in his hand, and that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. Up next, we have our thugs. The guy who's at 1 health will shake and wake up his last sleeping ally, and the other guy will pull out his daggers, and he'll try to stick Rom. So we'll go like that. Oh, that's a strike against Rom with the primary attack. That'll be 4 damage, Rom.
I'm down to 1.
Oh, so he stabs you right in the gut, and you can kind of feel your life force slipping away. But your vision kind of goes blurry. But just, your experience, your training has brought you ready up to this moment. You're barely alive, if only for the mercy of these dice. And with that, we're going to go to... you woke up Hardy, right? Hardy kind of stands up. He staggers weakly, and he kind of lets out this growl, and he says, not today! And you could tell this guy does not care, and he just swings as hard as he can at this guy who's crippled and badly wounded. And with this reckless attack, you just see he just slashes right into the back of this guy's leg, and Hardy literally decapitates this guy all the way from the knee down, and this guy falls over, blood just spraying out of the back of his leg as this guy drops dead. And you quickly realize you have 2 out of these 4 remaining individuals are now dead. And Rom, you see one of these guys is somewhat injured, and the other guy is the guy you hit with your Thunderwave. He's badly injured. He's barely injured as well.
Okay. I'm going to do what I did last time, attacking non-lethally to both of them.
Okay. To both?
Yeah. Green Flame Blade, and then Dagger.
All right, well, who's the dagger on? The more or less injured guy?
The more injured.
Okay, so that's a hit with your offhand, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Very good damage.
He takes 2.
You kind of hit this guy. You hit this guy in the back of the head, and he kind of goes cross-eyed for a second, but that didn't seem to hurt him very much. And up next is Uthal. You're just kind of breathing heavily as you finally arrive on the scene, and you quickly realize that maybe you didn't make the right choice here. As you see, Keen Eye is just stuck full of knives, seemingly dead on the ground. Hardy is badly injured. Rom is horribly injured. And Olo looks like he's a little bit scared, but seemingly you're uninjured, right, Olo?
Right. So before it arrives, people will be able to hear just these thud, thud, thud of this gigantic man approaching in full armor. he stops as close as he can get, peering at these guys, and just says, he's got this corpse over his shoulder, and he just goes, "If you stop now, I won't kill you," and then just takes it off and dumps it on the ground, and prepares his weapons.
Yeah, you can make an action this round.
Oh, I can actually.
Yeah, you arrive and you can do a move and attack action if you wish.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna attack them. The
So, lightly injured and badly injured.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the lightly injured, with the back head of my axe for just knocking him out. Right. So that is a 21 altogether.
21 is definitely a hit.
For just check my die. That is wow. Okay. For 4 points of damage.
Yeah. So you hit this guy. You kind of boop him in the back of the head, and he doesn't look too injured by the strike, but yeah, you kind of hit him hard, and he's definitely not down by any stretch of the imagination. But both these guys are looking pretty injured at this point.
Yeah.
And you sense that they don't look like the kind of people that are going to give up.
Okay.
Olo, you're up next.
So Olo, shit. Would I get cover if Olo runs through Longstride's legs?
On the opportunity attack?
Yeah.
I would say no. I mean, like if he successfully gives you cover, I would say that's like it's hitting him.
You can have it hit me if you want. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I'll let you do it, but if it misses by 2 or less, then it hits Uthal instead.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I am going to... So Olo kind of sees Longstride run up, swing his axe, and smash it into one of these guys. And he uses that opportunity, that distraction, to try to run through his legs to get to the other side of him, where he would be safer.
All right, well, it's 2 opportunity attacks, I believe. There's 2 guys left. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your armor class?
1 is definitely going to hit me, the first one.
Yeah, so the first guy just gets you immediately, and the second guy isn't even close. You feel this dagger kind of dig into your back for 5 damage.
Yeah, that's fine. So, yeah, it definitely cuts me. I can feel the blood running down my back, but I get so much adrenaline. Olo has so much adrenaline pumping through him that he's like, it doesn't even hurt yet. He just knows it's going to hurt later. And once he gets to the other side, he just turns around and he just takes another one of those little pouches of dust and he throws it up, and again it explodes in that green poof of... no, you're fine. It hits the guys with less hit points first. And I am going to try and put everybody that's really damaged to sleep.
Yeah, go for it. Don't roll bad.
Oh, shit. 17 points of damage. I mean, 17 hit points worth.
Yeah, so you puff up this cloud of smoke, and immediately you see Hardy passes out again, and these 2 guys you were fighting pass out as well.
And that's when Olo just goes, ah, ah, ah. And then he looks over like at Ram, and he's maybe feels a little less like he's bad.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of figuring, but I don't know Bladesong well enough to call you out on it.
Yeah, I just realized that. Sorry.
It's kind of like a full round attack.
I won't do that again.
Yeah. So I'm not going to step out of combat quite yet. These guys are immediately unconscious on the ground. There's not enough left over to drop Uthal. So
the total couldn't have even dropped me.
Yeah. So we're going to keep going in initiative order. The thugs are unconscious. Hardy is unconscious. Rom, what are you doing? You see these guys magically put to sleep.
I'd go and check the ranger. Use
Well,
my healing kit if he's still unconscious and not dead.
yeah, he's dead.
Aw.
He was at. You guys took so long that he was only at 5 health, and then he proceeded to get stabbed 4 times. So he's dead.
Ooh, damn. All right.
I was not expecting him to die, but he's dead.
All right.
If you were a little bit
Then-
faster, he might have been alive.
Then I'm gonna get Hardy up
Okay.
and then use my interaction to cuff one of the guys.
All right. Hardy kind of wakes up awkwardly as you cuff one of these guys, and Hardy kind of comes to, and he's just covered in blood. There's just dead bodies everywhere. You see, there's 3 of these. Actually, you notice now there's actually 4 dead people here. Plus, there were 6 guys who attacked. One of them was killed before you guys arrived. The second guy was killed by your thunder wave. And at this point, there's 2 of these bandits that are still alive but sleeping. And Hardy just looks absolutely perplexed as to what's going on here. And he kind of nervously looks around, and he sees his partner just with a bunch of knives stuck in his corpse. And he kind of
I would have put his cloak over his body before I woke him up.
Yeah, and he's just like, he looks more mad than anything though. And he kind of gets up and he grabs you by your neck and he kind of shakes you and he says, "Where's Laggard at?"
He wasn't with us.
What do you mean? He was.
He's back at HQ.
Is that so?
Yeah.
What do you guys remember about the deployment? Did you pay attention in
Laggard was
deployment?
with them, I think.
Yeah. Was Laggard the one that gave the orders?
No, that's the
Sergeant Evernight?
corporal.
He was the
Yeah,
corporal.
Corporal Laggard. I think he was with them, or meant to be with them.
Oh, that's right. He did go with them when he asked if.
Yeah, because the halfling and the I can't remember the name of the other person went off to do something else. Watch
Guile.
to watch the blacksmith, and these guys were meant to be like patrolling around the tavern in plain clothes.
Yeah.
And as you quickly realize that for whatever reason Laggard is not here, and Hardy is just dripping with blood. He's really horribly injured at this point. He looks actually way more injured than either one of you. A normal person would be absolutely dead from his wounds. To kind of metagame a little bit, it looks like he's taken honestly, it looks like he's taken 30-something damage. Like, he has just wounds everywhere, and the only reason he's even standing is just brutish nature. And this guy seems very, very mad, probably for good reason. And he says, "If I find that guy, I'm gonna kill him."
I'm gonna kill him. I have questions for him.
Calm yourself, friend. Calm yourself. There's plenty of time to kill later. We have these guys, prisoner. Where is Corporal Laggard? When did you last see him? And so Olo's really short, so he can only reach maybe to Hardy's waist. So he's just kind of like patting his hip. Calm yourself.
All of you guys can do an insight roll.
Okay, cool.
Guy's probably a coward. Crit. 21.
Yeah, you see that
5.
Hardy is so mad that he's going to do something he's going to regret immediately. You see his hands tense up, and you see him kind of clench down on his weapon. You don't know what he's about to do, but you know that it's not going to go well.
Yeah, I grab him. I guess he has me by the scruff, and I kind of like grab him by the scruff. And it's weird because I'm like way smaller than him. But he just looks into his eyes with like piercing blue, and he says, "Go get what's his. But we need to get to the bottom of these fuckers. We need to get these guys back to HQ."
Roll a persuasion check.
I shouldn't curse. Persuasion 11.
Let me see what the number you need to get here. Surprisingly, this guy, he just kind of growls, and you know he's about to just deck you, which probably wouldn't end well for you at 1 hit point. But he kind of holds himself back, just barely, and you kind of hear a voice kind of cry out, and you hear a woman's voice, and you hear, "What's going on here?" And you quickly notice it's Sergeant Evernight and Corporal Laggard kind of appear out from one of these side streets. And Corporal Laggard looks like he's just breathing really, really heavily, as if he ran all the way to HQ to get Sergeant Evernight. And this like fat, kind of cowardly-looking man, it's like, "Oh, they're attacking us." Oh. And he kind of sees that at this point, all of you guys have kind of settled what's going on here. And Sergeant Evernight kind of looks at Corporal Laggard, and she's like, "Wait, you abandoned your friends?" And Hardy kind of growls and just kind of narrows his eyes. And seeing this guy here, you know his bloodlust is starting to kick back up a little bit. And what do you guys do?
Uthal is going to go over to Hardy, right?
Yeah.
And say, "Oh, he's Olo, cuff the other one. You know, check them for weapons." And he reaches out to he reaches out to Hardy and places a hand on his shoulder. It'll be okay, Hardy. And he casts Cure Wounds on him, and Hardy will get how many HP is this back? We'll get 9 HP back.
Okay, yeah. You heal Hardy, and these massive wounds slowly begin to heal up. And you know Hardy is a tough SOB, to say the least. And you said you heal him for 9?
Yeah, 9 points.
So that heals him up quite a bit. He's still bloodied, surprisingly, from even with that amount of healing.
He's no longer bleeding out, I imagine.
Yeah. And he looks like he's just about to attack this corporal, and your sergeant kind of steps in front of him and says, all right, Hardy, I understand. We'll talk about this in the office." And Hardy just kind of gives up a defeated sigh, and we're kind of stuck in this awkward position here where you guys are surrounded with dead bodies, and your sergeant is just doesn't want to just talk about it right out here in the open streets. Can we at least get the bodies back to the barracks?
Yeah. I'm going to use a ritual to cast Tensor's Floating Disc, and we're going to use it to put the bodies on it.
Bring out your dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Bong. Yeah, so Olo would set about just patting down the two. Well, he'd manacle them first and then pat them down to make sure they have no other weapons on them.
Yeah, and as you're sitting here casting this ritual spell, before you can cast it, though, everybody roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, son of a bitch. That's
Okay.
Nat 20.
19.
Thank God you get those
I
nat
roll a
20s
lot of
there.
natural 20s. I do
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
trust this
no.
dice roll.
I think it's just
Olo.
the Goliath unseen.
All right,
everything.
Olo, you don't notice this. You're completely oblivious. But Longstrider, your feral senses as a Goliath tingle, and you know what's about to happen. As you see a familiar figure on a nearby roof about to throw 2 daggers down on these people that are both bleeding out or they've been manacled on the ground. Since you saw it,
Do I seem to?
yes, you see it as well.
Yes.
What do you do? Actually, let's roll initiative. I don't think this will be a fight, but I want to see the order of which you guys act.
Yeah, my idea is just to run forward and try and cover as much of them as I can with my shield, raising it up. The rest of the time, rest of it, just using my body to block anything.
Yeah.
We'll see if I manage to do that in time.
They rolled a natural 1, so.
So maybe. Do I get advantage on this one because it's a new combat? I think so.
Yes, technically.
So yes, I've 21.
Okay.
At a 7.
And your 2 coworkers are too distracted. I guess 3 are too distracted to notice this. But Ram and Uthal, you see this person just out of the corner of your eyes. They have 2 daggers in their hand, and they're about to just chuck them at these people. You know, it's like try to stand in front of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and just use my massive form and shield just to block as much of the those unconscious bodies as possible.
I could say you can give this person 3/4 cover if you want.
Yeah, perhaps, yeah, as much as possible.
You want to take like a dodge action? Or what do you want to do with your action? I say you kind of interpose yourself between them.
Yeah. I think dodge action, just shouting out like up on that roof, take cover kind of thing.
And what do? You're not nearly as healthy as the other one.
Nope. I'm gonna fling a firebolt at him.
All right, go for it.
There on the roof. Oh yeah,
That'll hit.
it's screw you, guy. 6 fire damage.
Yeah, you hit this guy on the roof. He kind of winces, and as you hit him, he kind of looks visibly injured, but just tosses down these 2 daggers trying to strike these people. And here we go. The first it's gonna be 2 attacks. The 1 attack on the unconscious guy. The second attack will have +5 armor class. Yeah, so that's
They're prone, aren't they? Too.
I suppose. Yeah, I guess. The first strike will be a miss, and the second strike will also be a miss. So it looks like these strikes are about to hit true, but Uthal manages to block one of the attacks with his.
Can I bounce them off my stone skin? Just like flex as one of the daggers comes in.
Yeah, so you kind of flex and it bounces off. Yeah. And this person kind of winces in pain as they get hit with a firebolt, and everyone kind of reacts and kind of turns around, and you see this assassin-looking person on top of a roof, and they quickly realize that the surprise is gone, and again they just dart off into the darkness, and the Sergeant Evernight kind of has this look like she wants to chase after them. Do you say anything, Uthal?
That one looks like one that I've ran into before this fight went down. Quick.
And she kind of stops and she kind of looks back at these people, and she's doesn't know what to say. Just put cloaks on all of them. If we mask their bodies, they can't assassinate them if they all look like corpses. And she takes her cloak off and puts it over one of these unconscious people. And you guys all would do the same. And at this point, it's kind of a bit trivial to drag these bodies back. Although there are a lot of bodies, to be honest.
Yeah, because I brought one with me, so
there's actually 6 corpses.
There's an extra
here.
one.
There's actually 6 corpses here. 4 of the people that attacked, plus the rogue you got, plus Kenai, who has been brutally killed.
We'll put him on the top.
Yeah. So it takes you guys a little while, but you eventually manage to all get it back to the barracks, and it's just a bloody, disgusting spectacle here. And as they kind of pull the bodies apart, they kind of reveal who's under each one of these, and it's just a dead guy, a dead guy, a dead guy, and then another dead guy, and then it's the rogue you guys killed, and then the last one is Kenai, who has been just daggers everywhere, and Hardy is just beside himself that his partner was killed because this fat coward who ran off. Do you guys say anything before your allies say anything?
I'm sorry we couldn't have been there faster.
And as you say that, Hardy, he doesn't even look that mad at you. He looks, he wishes you guys were there faster, but he's just more mad. And he said, "Well, you guys got there somewhat fast. If we just had one more person, we could have held off longer." And Laggard is just looking very sheepish at this point. And Hardy just kind of pleads with the sergeant, "You have to do something. I can't let this stand." And the sergeant kind of looks to you guys. He's a bit flabbergasted as well. I think it would be appropriate, Laggard, if we put you in a cell for your own safety. I can't be responsible for what Hardy does to you. And this guy is kind of looking a bit nervously. He's like, "All right, I'm not under arrest though, right?" And the sergeant is just like, "No, please, just go to the cell." And Hardy kind of just sheepishly walks away and enters the cell. And the sergeant walks up and kind of locks the cell so nobody can get in or out. She has the only key right now. And she gets back and she kind of asks you guys, so what happened here?
Uthal will just nod to Hardy. You better explain what happened before we turned up.
To Hardy? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Hardy was saying, we had been patrolling the area, and he's like a bit exasperated. We saw a group of thugs exit the tavern. There were 6 of them, and they didn't look like anything special, but they seemed to recognize us almost immediately. And we tried to lose them down an alleyway, but they quickly caught up to us. And before I knew it was the 6 of them and the 2 of us. And before I could even whistle for help, Laggard was already gone. He just ran and didn't come back. And it felt like hours that we were fighting, but couldn't have been more than a minute. There's just so many of them. There's so many knives. They weren't even in any kind of uniform. They were just kind of nonchalant. Just these little daggers, and they just were stabbing us full of holes. And right before these guys got here, they got Kenai. He was trying to heal, but there was just too many of them. He was trying to show me off his healing spell he had learned the other day, but it wasn't enough. And as he explains this, the sergeant was kind of looking. Were you guys pretty close by?
Yes, we were investigating suspicious activity inside of this warehouse, and then he points it out on a city map. A man was. I turn over the notes of what this guy was doing with this box of horseshoes, and I put the horseshoe down on it, and like I put the sketch of the logo on the box next to it. And I say, when he was confronted, he attacked us and tried to run. When we detained him, the same assassin that tried to kill the other two killed him.
And
I think they're connected.
I see. She's kind of a bit confused. Why was he stealing horseshoes? I don't understand. And she's kind of looking. Do you show her one of the horseshoes?
Yeah, I would have put it with the other stuff. And I'd also be just like looking at it and like trying to figure out what it might be made of, whether it's weird or anything like that.
Yeah, all you guys roll me investigation checks.
Okay.
That's not
Natural
bad.
1.
13.
Okay, Little Fox, you look at these horseshoes, and the ones that you collected, they look exactly the same as the one Dan collected. You only collected like 3 or 4 though. You each only had 3 or 4, but when you cross-reference them to the other horseshoes this guy was carrying on him, they're different. You're not quite sure what's so different about them, but you kind of flip it over, and these are just ever so slightly different. There's a very strange symbol on the back of this horseshoe. The ones that were placed into the box that you pulled out, that is not present on the ones in his bag.
Olo kind of jumps down from the stool he was up on, and he kind of walks up close, and he's kind of like tippy toes because he's so short. And he says, and he grabs one of them, and he starts scraping at the metal to see if anything flakes off of it.
You kind of scrape off. You kind of scrape at it, and the horseshoes with the symbols on them, they seem maybe a little bit tougher than the normal horseshoes. It's very strange. It doesn't make any sense. Like, these are like super horseshoes for some reason, but it doesn't make any sense. Like, you're kind of getting it kind of comes to you that this person was exchanging horseshoes in this box, and he had put the strange symbol ones in the box, and had taken the ones out of the box for himself. But why he would do that is a bit strange. You want to try to explain what you've seen here?
Yeah, so I guess, have I seen the symbol before in my time in the town?
Yeah, would I recognize it?
Both of you can make Arcana checks if you're.
I will. I will not do
18.
well. Actually,
Yeah,
I will. Oh, I get one.
Little Fox does not know, but yeah, with your 18 on the roll, you notice that upon closer inspection, this is some sort of arcane symbol. It's some sort of spell. You would almost imagine it's maybe a divination spell or something, but you're not quite sure how this works. You would need to do a closer inspection with a spell to get more specifics out of it than that.
Seems these horseshoes were imbued with some sort of divination magic. And then I'd cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Yeah, you cast Detect Magic as a ritual that lets you.
I get to like see the aura and like what kind of aura it is.
Yeah, you kind of cast it, and immediately you kind of notice that all the horseshoes with this symbol on it are magical.
Yep, magic. I say, and my eyes are just like bright neon blue.
Magic. So wait, these are all magic horseshoes. Why would someone? Your sergeant looks very confused at this point. Are you trying to say they were giving magic horseshoes into the crates?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to investigate what the symbol means more in
Yeah.
depth.
But from what you know so far, for whatever reason, what you guys have seen is this individual had sneakily opened the crates. He had removed what looks like about a dozen regular horseshoes and then stuck these magic horseshoes in instead.
Could I ask a
Yeah.
question?
Uh,
Where are those horseshoes going?
Yeah, I put my finger on the logo of the company.
that
Do you
looks
know where
like,
this is?
yeah, that's the same blacksmith shop that Brightheart and Guile are staking out right now.
Just go meet them immediately.
And you say that, and you still have all these corpses here. She kind of looks at these two unconscious people. I don't want to be that person here, but we still have these two people to interrogate. Do you want me to stay back and make sure that nothing happens to them? Because I don't know if that assassin will be back.
What do you two think?
You're injured, are you not, Ram?
I'm
Probably not
fine,
best if you go
he
out.
says, and like there's just blood seeping through his shirt.
Uthal will reach over and place a hand on his chest and cast.
Oh,
Heal Wounds.
you guys can take a short rest here if you wish to save your spells. But
Well, I was going to cast it and then take the rest.
yeah, well, the short rest will not give you back your spells.
It'll get back one, right?
No,
No? Or that's just wizards anyway.
that's wizards, land druids, and warlocks. So yeah, she's like, well, regardless of what we're doing here, I need to get you guys bandaged up. And she kind of pulls out these bandages, and you know she's a pretty good medic in her own rights. She kind of bandages up your wounds, and as you guys are kind of sitting there, this whole time that you're kind of resting up, Hardy's just eyeing this laggard who's just kind of cowering in the cell, too ashamed of himself.
Hardy. And I'd wait until he turns to look at me.
Yes.
It's not worth it. You don't want to go to prison. You don't want to go to prison dealing with that fuck outside the law. He's not worth it.
And as you say that, he kind of growls and he kind of whispers back to you and says, well, let's take a short break here. I have someone knocking on the door. You guys okay for like a 5-minute break real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Hmm.
Well, that went a lot worse than I was expecting.
We're not dead.
I wasn't expecting you guys to die.
Well,
That was supposed to not be that hard of an encounter.
Yeah, I shouldn't have split the party.
It seems to be a theme.
It's all my fault.
That encounter really shouldn't have been that hard.
You need a
almost
tank,
die.
DPS, and healer there.
Yeah.
Party.
You have your two casters run up into melee. I got this! Oh no! I don't got it!
Oh no.
Olo's starting to wonder, is that what wizards are supposed to do? Because that's not what I've always been told.
Yeah. How much did we get healed?
You guys got a short rest.
I think you can spend a bone. You want to heal?
2 hit dice. You have 2 hit dice you can spend.
I didn't do anything. So. How much longer do you think they'll be left? Because it's almost 4:20 a.m.
Oh shit. Well, this is the thing. I was actually planning a lot more, but this event went a lot more sideways than I was expecting.
I liked it. Sorry.
Yeah. I liked it.
It's been a lot of fun so far. This is the thing. What do you guys want to do? This will definitely be the next time we play will still be the same day. I have a lot of stuff planned for this particular day.
Oh no, that's fine. That's
Do
perfect.
you guys want to stop here, or do you want to?
I think this is a good stopping point where we have these prisoners back. We have to now either decide, are we going to interrogate these prisoners, or are we going to head out? I think that was those are the two options that.
Yeah, it's quite a natural stopping point.
All right, and you guys do remember what they had said during briefing, that they don't want anyone to interrupt their stakeout.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I was going to mention that.
If there is, some very important circumstances, you obviously could, if you have permission from your sergeant or whatever, but be aware that if you do that, you might mess up this opportunity to catch these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
do you guys
Olo
want to
would be
do the
concerned.
interrogation now, and then
We can say that for tomorrow if you guys for next week if you want.
Up to you guys.
Yeah, let's save it for next. Let's save it for next.
Save the interrogation. That will leave us sort of wondering.
Okay.
Yeah, we're a little cliffhanger.
And I can go to bed.
All right.
So we'll end the broadcast for here. Do you guys have any last words before I end the broadcast?
No, Olo lived.
Yep.
I didn't die. I didn't get knocked out either.
Everybody stayed up that side. See, that's progress, Joe. Progress. We're making progress, everybody.
Hey, we
Making
actually captured people
Right. We're getting better.
Yeah.
and only got killed like how many did we lose? Like 3 guys? 4 guys? A day?
2 were killed. 1 was killed by Hardy, and then 2 were killed by Hardy.
Yeah.
And then you guys killed like 2 of them. The assassin killed.
Assassin killed 1 and attempted to kill 2.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys were going to be a bit more protective of these corpses. These
That
guys
was
you
awesome.
captured. Because
Manly chest. Stop those daggers.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you guys were going to try to drag him in the cover or something, but you didn't.
Hey,
Luckily, you
you know,
rolled really well in perception and noticed the guy.
with Kenai dead, that helps our prospects, guys, for moving up the ranks. Just saying.
I think we're the same rank.
We are.
Yeah. I'm going to end the broadcast here, and then we can chat for a few minutes. Or if you have to go, you have to go.